When it comes to sales and being in sales, what is one skill or one trait that can predict if you're going to be a performer or a closer? I'm Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live from Honolulu, Oahu on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you on video number 2,100 on this YouTube channel. So when I work with salespeople, there's a couple of things that I look for that I combine into one group of information that tells me if that person is going to be the guy or the girl that goes the distance and really wants to take the moniker of a performer or closer and run with it. And so there's a couple of pieces to this puzzle, and the first one is they're willing to go the distance. And what that is let's say that I meet with somebody and I say, here's all the things that you need to do, here's the process you need to do, and they do it. They don't ask any questions, they don't try to reinvent the wheel, they don't let their ego get in the way, they don't go, I don't really want to say it that way, I really don't want to do it that way. They go, hey Scott, that's what you're telling me to do, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go. And so like if I said, I want you to run to the end of this rock structure that I'm on out here at Magic Island, and I want you to run all the way to the parking lot and back, that's what they do. They're like, okay, good. So the reason why I say this is a lot of instructors and a lot of coaches teach things in a very specific process. They teach in a way that like, this is what I want you to do, this is what I need you to do for a reason. Like they're not just doing it for fun, just to see you, suffer and struggle with whatever's going on. They're doing it because they want to see you get better. They want to see you have success in your life, okay? So part number one is they're willing to go the distance. Now part number two of that is repeated action of going the distance. So if you look at any recipe, there's all sorts of steps that you got to take. And if you want that recipe to come out consistent, you got to use the same recipe over and over and over again. And so what I'll see salespeople do is they've had a coach, they've had a mentor, and they implement roughly 50% of what they learn. Now I got to let you know, I've made this mistake. I have, right? Any mistake that I'm going to tell you about, I've made. That's how I know about it. I made this mistake, right? And so what they'll do is they won't complete the training. And I take a lot of classes online. I see this happen a lot. Excuse me, where someone will get like 50% of the way done, and they're like, all right, I'm good. I've done all the work that I need to do. I'm not going to do anything else. I don't need to do anything else. I'm done. And then what they do, they get frustrated, and then they get upset, and then they're mad, and then they say, well, it didn't work for me, and then they badmouth the coach and they badmouth the instructor. I'm like, well, instructor, I was like, wait a minute. You like, out of 50 tasks, you completed like 15 or 20 of them. You didn't even learn how to do the whole thing. How could you say that, you did what you were supposed to do when you didn't, okay? And then third, what will happen is, this is what I like to refer to as the help trap. And the help trap is this. Let's say that Bob over there, decides that he wants to take a class and he wants to be better at asking questions. And so I take him through a process, I give him a training, and he never really put in the work, the energy, or the effort. And he comes to me like after the class and he's like, hey Scott, this process isn't really working for me, I need some help. Or if it's in the middle of a class, this student will normally raise their hand and go, hey, I need some help, this process isn't really working for me. But what you need to know is they never did all the work on the back end that would allow for them to do all the work on the front end for them to be a success. And I see this happen in so many different fields that I work in and so many different people that I work with, that even after I've set the agenda, I've told them what to expect, told them what to do, the people bounce out and they go, help. And like in the front of a room, I won't put up with it. In the front of a room, I'll call them out for it. I go, hey, look, you know what? Have you done X, Y, and Z, as my friends say over in Europe? Have you done 1, 2, 3, 4? Have you done everything that you were supposed to do? And usually what comes back is they go, no, I was busy. Like the act of repeated excellence takes time, energy, and effort. And what you need to know is most of your sales competition is extremely lazy. They're price matchers, they're discounters, they don't spend any time, energy or effort training. The only thing they do is they're like, hey, what was this guy doing? What was that girl doing? Can I just see their proposal? Can I just match it? And there's no difference in the company or the product or the service given. It just comes down to price. And that's really lazy in the sales process. And when you go and you do things consistently over and over and over again, there's a certain element of being uncomfortable, and you have to learn how to be uncomfortable. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you're going to live to about 40% of your potential, maybe 50% of your potential, and then you're going to look at sales and go, sales isn't for me. I tried it, it didn't work, it wasn't fun, I didn't have a good time with it, I wasn't good at it. Well, if you had a good coach, if you had a good mentor, was it that you weren't good at it, or was it that you really didn't put in the time, the energy, or the effort that you needed to close the deals and to make things happen, right? So let's just go through this list again. First is really top-notch salespeople do what they were told to do. Do it this way, That's the way to do it. Without trying to reinvent the wheel, without letting the ego get in place. Like, I've fallen for this too. I have. Second, whatever the course says, that's what they do. It's like if they say this is what you do to make this product or this service, that's how you do it. And then third, they don't fall for the help trap. They don't go, hey, it wasn't my fault. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what I was gonna do. They implement, and they put in the time, the energy, and the effort. And see, here's the thing for you. If you're willing to read the books, check out the podcast, get the live training, and implement, you're gonna find that your life becomes multiplied better. Not just a little bit better, but like multiples, because it's the fastest way for you to learn how to sell, is to find a coach, find a mentor who's got a really good program, go through the whole thing, implement the same exact way that they tell you how to do it. And if they've had a bunch of success from other students, you gotta know that it's gotta work. And for the students that it doesn't work for, they just wouldn't step out of your comfort zone. So number four on this list is step out of your comfort zone. Be willing to say, hey, look, I'm gonna look dumb, or I'm gonna look silly, and it's not gonna be the most perfect thing for me at this point, but I'm okay with that, right? Because everybody's gotta start somewhere. The first YouTube videos, like 2,100 videos ago, that I put up, they were horrible. So like they always say your first one is your worst one. My second one was my second worst one. My third one was my third worst one. And like I've got a lot of video on the cutting floor that you'll never see, because I'm like, okay, that didn't work, right? I treat a lot of things that I do like a video game. And I look at it, I'm like, all right, was I able to beat that chapter? I was. I wasn't, I gotta go back and do it again. So for you, find a good coach, find a good mentor. Go implement, go the distance. Don't fall for the help trap, right? Don't fall for the help trap, that's silly. It doesn't do you any good, and overall it hurts your sales process. And then what you do is you go to the next person. You find the next coach or the next level. Like, you may find somebody who gets you to a 40% closing rate, fantastic, good. Now find somebody who's gonna get you a 45 or a 50. Implement what they teach you. Like, you're gonna find that your sales skills develop, your sales strategies, your techniques, they all develop over time, just like anything else. It's like building muscle. Like right now, I'm not really in shape and I don't have a six pack, but if I was trying for that, like you develop and build definition over time. It's not something that happens instantly. Then you find a coach or a mentor that can get you 65 to 70%. And then you just keep working at it. So the traits that go into one big pot for top salespeople really do make a difference over time. Now, if you've never been to my channel, you got one thing to do from here, just one thing. Find the subscribe button and click on it. And every time I send out a video, you'll get an update that says Scott Bell Consultant sent out a video. You should check it out, which you should. We'll see you soon. Aloha.